Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Gail Bliss. I would like to introduce Charly Rowe, running for Alder from District 3. As we begin, please tell our viewers a bit about how your educational, vocational, and civic experience has prepared you for the position and why you decided to run for Alder.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gail and Tanya, Joseph, everybody involved. Thank you for inviting us to this forum to give us a place and a voice. A little bit about me. I am from Eastside Madison, where District 3 is located. I am living on streets that I grew up walking on as a child. I am now raising my children here in the Kennedy Public School. I'm 44 and a half as of the 20th of this year. I always make fun of that because it's celebrating half birthdays is something that I've found to be uniquely Madisonian, apparently. And I learned that in public schools. One of the reasons I'm running is to support the vibrancy of the East Side that I have seen dwindle, I have seen die off. My education has not been typical. I am running, announcing, letting people know I'm neurodiverse, Asperger's, ASD, whatever you'd like to call it. So my professional, my educational path has not been typical. I'm a product of Abundant Life Christian School, Senate Middle School, La Follette, Sun Prairie, and East High School. I've attended one course in theater at UW-Madison, but I got my college training as both a theologian, a minister, and a K through 12 educator. Spent most of my professional career in education, but since moving back to Madison 6 years ago, I have learned firsthand the experiences that can change a life trajectory, and it is the issues that are affecting my district, and I'm running to give all of us who are facing these issues a voice.
Thank you. First question. What issue or issues have you identified as being of primary concern to the residents of your district, and how would you approach tackling them?
That is a huge question for this amount of time. But if you visit my website, it's very simply www. I love saying that because nobody says it anymore, but charlyrowefrommadison.com. Public safety is our priority, and there are so many issues that fall under that. We are needing to address police reform, address this cry for defunding. We're needing to address the safety issues where just simple public services, our plows and our light poles falling over, our mailboxes being knocked down. Very, very practical things fall under public safety, and I would say that's number one. I also want to address the equitability of our city council and the way they are dividing our legislation. I'm getting tongue tied because I start getting so passionate and I want to throw it all at you, but we need justice. This is an obvious thing, but which way do we go? We need to go to protective measures, and we need to go to things that are providing a better economy. And I just want to keep coming back to public safety because we don't feel safe in our homes. We don't feel safe in our jobs. We don't feel safe in our finances. And every other issue, I think, falls under this umbrella, even though we parse it out.
Thank you. Question 2. There will be an advisory referendum on the ballot in April about a number of modifications to the Common Council, including changing the number of members, making it full-time, and changing the term of office. Which of these ideas being advanced do you embrace? Why or why not?
Teacher mode, I'm going to do the Oreo method, good, bad, good. Let's start with good. I am in favor of limiting terms. I'm not sure if I agree with the 4 years. I possibly would like to see it longer than that. I am challenging an incumbent who had practically zero experience until she landed on Common Council. And no doubt it has been a huge learning curve. I believe that, there's that learning curve, but then there's also the work to be done. Do I think people should be sitting on our common council for 10 years? I do not, because I know too much about some of the things that have happened with these situations, and we don't want politicians at the city level. We want representatives. If you want to stay in the game to be a politician, please move on. I do not want to see the number reduced from 20 to 10. My number one reason there is I don't want the UW representative to lose their voice. There are so many other issues. We would be reducing our districts, causing double the workload, minimizing the voice of the people. I'll go ahead and say many people on Common Council, my opponent included, have changed from supporting police on all measures to calling for defunding. But where they often want it to lie is in that 435% increase in salary. I've already told the people in my district I will work the first year for the 12,600. I have done that the last 3 years as a citizen. I do see a need to increase it to make it more viable for all representatives, but I don't see a $67,000 salary for our representatives, we the people. I think it's unnecessary.
Question 3. Homelessness, evictions, and lack of affordable housing are vexing problems for Madison that seem to have been exacerbated in the time of COVID-19. What ideas would you advance or support to help solve these problems?
This one, it hits my personal home. I received that dreaded eviction letter because I lost my job where I was teaching when the schools closed immediately. I did not get, I'm still waiting on almost $5,000 in unemployment because it gets tied up. They're very busy, hardworking people. This one hits home, and I got my nominations to run for this office by knocking on the doors of my neighbors and talking to them safely. And this issue came up over and over, like, what are we supposed to do? Who's helping us? We see money moving in our city, but it's not coming to us. We see it going to businesses that are getting PPPs. We see it going there. And wait a minute, they're wanting to put a homeless shelter in our backyard. Well, where are these burdens being shared? All of these things are being voiced by people in my district. I want to hear from them, hear their ideas. I think we need to handle our homelessness issue. We have the space for these lives to dwell. We should not be hearing reports of people freezing to death in our city. This is an extremely important issue that I want to talk to my neighbors with. I want to see how we can begin to shift our city's economy to be more humane and compassionate.
Thank you. Question 4. With the selection of a new police chief and the creation of a community oversight board, there is a lot of attention focused on policing and criminal justice, both from the perspective of racial equality in law enforcement and the concerns of many citizens that, in fact, crime, especially car thefts and home burglaries, is increasing and that police response is inadequate. How would you deal with these concerns?
Head on. I have already stood as a citizen and testified before our Common Council as to my own life trajectory changing events with the Madison Police Department. I myself presented a list of standard of operating procedures that they violated. I have been a victim of these problems within our police department, and I hear them constantly. However, I have friends within the force who are hardworking people. They are in the force for the right reasons. They have made incredible sacrifices, and they themselves are scared and want change. I do believe that we need community oversight. I don't believe our citizens are aware that the Fire and Police Commission are their own judge and jury. And I am one of those people that I have filed a complaint of physical abuse. It was said, we don't think you did anything wrong, goodbye. The problem is, as the report showed us, there's no process for them to say, where are the limits? These things need to be addressed. The citizens should be directly involved because it is their lives that are being oppressed. The systemic racism is real. Um, we need representatives from the people like me and like my neighbors um, who have been kept out of these seats. Our voices have been silenced, and I'm 100% for. I'm really excited to see this. I'm 100% for our new police chief getting involved, and it's one of the reasons I'm running.
Thank you. Question 5. Madison businesses of all kinds have been severely stressed during this past year. What, if anything, would you propose to support business revitalization?
I have friends who have established businesses and sustained them for 25 years until COVID. We were totally caught off guard. We have completely let our small businesses down, as well as our essential workforce, the people whose lives ran those businesses. Again, it is a matter of look at our city budget. Let's see where our current alders have been putting our finances. And let's take a look at how we can supplement the income of our workforce, how we can supplement our entrepreneurs, our small businesses. Even our union workers are struggling right now, and there are ways that creative ways of redistributing our budget. And I am more at this time more concerned about keeping the lives of our essential workers and our entrepreneurs viable than I am sustaining the capitalistic endeavors of some of our already very well supported local businesses.
Question 6. What measures should Madison take to increase our city's environmental sustainability?
We didn't show up too well as a city on where we fell in this category. And there are some of the things that our Common Council is already working on, such as our rapid bus transit. It's going to be something that is going to be viable. It's going to be sustainable. It's going to increase the economy. And it is something that we can begin to train the next generation. Let's hop on the bus, kids, instead of hop in the car. These types of initiatives that are already on the table, I'm in full support of. But I think that there's more that we can do with our green spaces and the way that we use the density of our planning.
Question 7. On what committee or committees would you like to serve and why?
First and foremost, I would want to serve on our Arts Commission. As a local musician, a performing artist, I have struggled in this city to really find out where are the sources of my city's support. There are scenes within scenes within scenes, and unless you are connected, you don't have the resources. And our city, Madison, is so talented and creative that I'm really wondering why Appleton is considered the Nashville. I would like to change that.
What would you like to say to our viewing audience as we complete this interview?
Again, I would like to say, if you are watching this or listening to this, thank you, because it means that you care, you're involved, you are wanting to see change. I think that it's evident that we need change, and I would like to be a part of it. I have been working at the grassroots level with mental health organizations, with educational organizations, with environmental, Isage River Alliance. I want to continue that work, but within the system. And if you're in District 3, vote for Charly Rowe. But if you're not in my district, find out who is running and find out what you believe our future should be and vote for that person. Just vote. Thanks.
I want to thank Charly Rowe for speaking with us and the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. As with every election, please vote. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.